Okay, this should be interesting. I work retail, and this has been a long time in the making. Not saying which store or anything. But, if I can decipher my own handwriting, I'll be reading off a list of some of the customer kinds you get in there. Some of those frustrating, some of the ones that are just... I don't know, you'll see. The things you run into, the people you run into... can be especially irritating. But you don't say it, you just smile, wave, and do your job. Don't ask why the room is messy, that doesn't matter. I have a lot, but in frame. I don't know what's in frame anymore, I'll be honest. People who shop in the last 5 minutes of the store closing. Why? That's stupid. You had all day, you had 8 hours to do it, and you wait to the last 5 stinking minutes. That is, it makes our job longer. We have to stay out there and wait for you to putter around and grab your stuff. Just use your time better. Is this all you have? Said the person on aisle 1 who's looking at 9 different flavors of Propel, asking if that was all we had. What are you looking for? A Propel, like, come on. People who walk by the huge restroom letters and go the whole way back to the lunchroom looking for the bathroom. The bathroom hallway is like 5 feet to the right of the lunchroom hallway. The letters are like this big each. The people, the family who communicate to each other by yelling across the entire store and who talk obnoxiously loud in general. No dogs, but Fifi, my teacup poodle, will have separation anxiety if I leave them in the car. I don't care. I mean, they're not causing a problem, really, but it's just pathetic. It takes more effort to heft your shopping cart onto the cobblestone median that's like this high off the parking lot than it does to shove it back to the cart return. People who drop off items where they're not supposed to be. Like, you have shampoo in the freezer, excuse me, and then you'll have an item they'll like, oh, I want this Gatorade instead of this Gatorade. Well, the Gatorade you just took it from, that display is like 2 feet that direction. You couldn't turn around and put it back? No. People who leave a mess in the bathroom for me to clean up. And I'm the one who does it, and I voluntarily do it. But probably 4 times I've cleaned up a fair amount of fecal defecation on the floor and the toilet from people who miss or somehow can't make. Okay, yes, understand some people do have medical issues or stuff that makes it happen, but it's disgusting. Don't leave your diapers next to the toilet and walk out, okay? This might seem weird, but customers who want all the groceries in the box. I don't like boxing groceries. I mean, I can, but it's so much more fiddly. You got a whole cart full of groceries, and you're like, oh, I want it in boxes. And I was supposed to make those boxes magically fit back in your cart when your cart is jammed full of every little odd and end that we sell. I mean, sure, it's not hard to pack it into the boxes, but then you got boxes like this, and they're not going to fit back in the cart well. People who leave their trash in their carts. Their cart wipes, their garbage. It's disgusting. And then we got to clean it up, and then it blows out in the yard, and I got to clean it up then too. People who put their cart wipes in behind the products. Okay, and wipe down your cart handles. There's a trash can for it. There's a trash can every cash register. The bathrooms are trash cans. You don't need to stuff your cart wipes in between the chips or drop them back behind the Gatorade, okay? People who take 42 times to swipe their card, and then finally when they get it take, they don't remember their PIN number. tobacco spit people. Okay? Either spit out your water chew before you come in the store, or find a trash can. Don't spit it onto the cereal, or throw your little chew pouch back behind the cereal, okay? That's disgusting. And then there was a review about the store. The person said something like, I got a pizza at this store, and I cooked it and I ate it. And then I found out it was expired and I got sick. Okay, you didn't get sick until you found it was expired. It was frozen pizza. What do you think is living in it? Tardigrades? Like, it's fine. You probably just got psychological sickness inducing. I don't know. The person who writes whole checks out after checking out. You could have at least put the store's name and your name in there instead of waiting until your 2 cartloads of groceries are done and then slowly writing out your check. Oh, whenever we do customer appreciation days or something like that, the people who decide to fill out their little ticket at the cash register instead of the table. The people who like to make a traffic jam with their carts to stop and talk. Don't. Keep moving and go to the side. Don't mesh together in the center and stop traffic carts. The people who rip open cases of product sold by the case to look for ingredients, expiration dates, or, heaven forbid, sodium content, or the sodium freaks. Like, oh my gosh, this is 0.05 grams of sodium. We'll die. Okay, I understand. I truly understand this one a little bit more than the other ones. It has some rationale. Because, for some older people with doctor recommendation, you can't have that much sodium. But there's some people who are like, worry about the sodium content in their napkins or something like that. The people who have the inability to eat a box of cheese in 3 months because of the date. I remember that one time I was like, oh my gosh, these cheese expired in like something like 3 months. I can't eat it by then. How slow do you eat food? Like, come on. The people who think Best Buy, Used By, Best Before, and expires will treat cans of peas 6 months expiration like it's a 3-day-old slice of rancid steak. Well, guess what? If I asked you about that, you could probably tell me about how you ate rotten potatoes back in the Great Depression and risked botulism so you could make it through the week, but you've probably got unopened cans of pears that expired 8 years ago in your pantry you've never opened. So, are you gonna... Oh, we don't have to. The screaming child that sounds possessed. And the parents usually don't care. The parents just ignore them, and they shut them up with either candy or buy what they want. They will punish them by threatening the kid to either walk or put them in the cart depending on the kid's preference. If the kid's like, I want to walk, the parent's like, don't make me put you in the cart. If the kid's like, I want to ride in the cart, they'll say, don't make me make you walk. Or, don't make me count to 3. Oh no! You never get 3 anyway, and if you do, you waddle after your kid while it's running down the aisle screaming, and then your kid's hiding between the shelves and run around. I'm amazed worse stuff hasn't happened with all the kids ripping around between the shelves. Ahem. The people who casually walk around the store eating food and feeding to their kids before they buy it. Like this one creepy Mennonite lady especially. She comes into the store, and by the front window pulling up stuff. It's like people who have their eyes always bugged out wide like they're hallucinating or something. They kind of freak me out, but that's just me. And she goes over, takes a gallon of tea off the display, pops top off, starts chugging it, and then she's like 4 or 5 kids with her, and they all take turns passing around and chugging out this bottle of tea they got off the shelf. People who use mobility carts who don't need them at all. If you're morbidly obese, I guess you can't walk. Okay, great. But then there's the people like the teens that come into the store walking around and people like that, like, you're capable of walking. I see you walk. The people, like, I'm not trying to shame people who are in the financial condition where they can't afford great housing, live in a trailer or something. But the slobs, you can just tell by some people who get on the carts, like, you can see them walking in. And then that leaves old people who actually need the carts out there waiting, And chances are they're just going to try to walk in with the cart on their own, even though they actually need that mobility cart. The people who shop at a quarter mile an hour and stare at every can of product for 5 minutes straight before putting it back and moving on. And they repeat the process down the whole aisle, and you get stuck behind them trying to work. Mennonites, immigrants who think they're still in Ukraine, so they let their kid have a youth crossbow in the store and dry fire it at people, including me. Like, why? People who smell like literal poop. It's disgusting. And it's not just the Amish. There's some other people who come in there, you hold your breath, smile and wave, which is about all you can do, just smile and wave. I will literally go to another aisle to avoid them. People who use that putrid perfume that smells like they took 4-week-old soggy, decaying lavender flowers from a vase in a cemetery and then threw them on top of roadkill deer and tried to cover it up with black pepper. It's disgusting. It does not smell good. It does not smell nice. I don't care if your grandpa wore it. It's awful. Makes you want to gag and sneeze. It's terrible. Old guys who walk around that have clearly peed their pants. I've seen this too many times. Like, and sometimes you can tell those pants have been on for quite a while. They use the same ones every day. Like, either get some relative to help take care of you, get some hospice or something. I get it. Whenever you get older, sometimes you want to be independent. You want to take care of yourself. And my mom would know more about that because she is like a nursing assistant. But sometimes it's really disgusting. But box raiders. Okay, and this one is probably just a pet peeve, and it doesn't need to be. But people come on, I have all this cardboard collect off the shelves loose. I have it in my cart, which I push around and put stuff in. And people will come through and they'll root through it. Sure, you take some off the top, but after all that time I spent putting it in there, that's kind of my proof that, hey, I'm working. And then you like come over and rip through the cart and take all my boxes. Which might sound pathetic to some people, but I hate that. Brawl phones. Who the heck wants to steal your disgusting, greasy $2,000 phone when you're on welfare and you come waddling into the store with a phone stuffed in your bra? Why? Nobody wants to take it, okay? Maybe you don't have pockets, but that is disgusting. Okay? I've heard of people at the cash register just been like, oh my goodness, I spent $2,000 on a phone and then my charger broke it and they pay with access card. Like, okay, you have money to blow on a phone, but you don't work. People will think they're sneaky by putting cherry pits and candy wrappers in between products. Okay, I get it, you like to taste cherries, but can't you wait until you check them out? Just buy them? To have taken your greasy, spit-covered cherry pits and stuffing them in with the chips and eating your candy and putting the wrappers in there. Okay, just... People I bag for who have reusable bags that smell like cat pee. It's disgusting. And it's not that uncommon. They'll have like hair in them, filth. One time I found one with mouse poop in it, and I told the lady about it, like, hey, you really don't want to use this bag. And she didn't. People who let their babies chew and slobber on their groceries, then I have to bag it. That's disgusting. Do I work here? No, I just stole this hat and this vest from Goodwill. Like, I don't actually get, do I work here often? But when I do, I always have my hat has a logo and my vest has a logo. Yeah, I work here. Customers who plow through a mess when I clean it up. I get a ketchup spewed across the floor and somebody's going to push their cart through it and not care. Like, stop. I'm working here. Can you not see this? We've got pears thrown across the floor or something. Like, take a minute out of your day to go around us, take another aisle detour, or just don't go through until it's cleaned up. People will think you're hiding stuff behind your cart. So where I work, name not being disclosed, we have these kind of carts, like modified lumber carts. We clean off the shelves and we put the loose cardboard in. We'll have this massive empty space, okay? Maybe we're in the aisle where we're going to put something, and a person thinks, oh, what are you hiding behind there? They'll be looking behind your cart and shove it out of the way, and there's nothing back there. Or I'll have my cart in front of something. I think at least once I had somebody like, what are you hiding back there? Or I'll have like 2 cans of peas or like some tuna back there. And no, you don't want that. You look back there. I'm not hiding the good stuff from you, okay? This is my cart parked here. People will cross-check because they don't believe a product is gone. They think you're lying, okay? Amish. Had one Amish guy who's looking for something. He's like, no, we don't have that. And then he turns out, he goes around and he asks a whole bunch of other employees because he doesn't believe me. And then one of my coworkers comes, loops back around and asks me if we have it. I'm like, no, we don't. I already told him we didn't have it. It's like, I'm not lying to you. I'm not hiding a product from you. We don't have it. You don't have to cross-check it. Well, you had it here the other day. No, we didn't have it here the other day. That was literally last year. The 2-foot-tall invisible midgets, as I call them. So you'll go down the aisle, and then like 2-3 feet off the ground, right in the middle of the display, you have a bunch of cans or cereal knocked out, like taken out. It's like, why out of the middle of the display? You never see people do it, not usually. And it's just, people rip stuff right out of the middle. The invisible 2-foot-tall midgets, because people will take it out of there and you never see it happen. People will think the next box back behind the product, or the one below it, is fresher product. They'll like take the whole top off and then get stuff out from underneath it, or reach down the box in the back. It's like, it's all the same expiration date. We're not some, I'm sure there's like some YouTube videos out there where it's like, 10 ways retail stores trick their customers. It's like, shut up. It's all came on the same truck, same day. It's the same expiration date. Unless you're worried about canned peas expiring for years. People who take a whole case of glass bottles out and put it loose so they can have the box and they can take a little bit of every flavor and then put it in their cart and leave this massive, teetering mess of glass bottles on top of there. Can you don't do that? People who suck at driving motor carts, those mobile carts. Like, sometimes there's people who shouldn't use them. Like plowing entire chip displays of spaghetti sauce and knocking a whole bunch off the back. Like, this isn't NASCAR, okay? This is a store. People want to look at stuff across the aisle when they're going in the middle, so they swing their cart sideways, block the whole aisle, then walk across and look at it, and block everybody else. And honestly, that's all I got right now, and I'd say that's plenty enough.